There is a kind of touch that says more than a sentence ever could. Not the loud kind, not the dramatic kind, not the kind that feels like someone is trying to prove something to the room. I'm talking about that quiet moment when his hand finds your waist and something in your body goes still for half a second because it does not feel random. It does not feel accidental. It does not feel like casual flirting tossed into the air to see where it lands. It feels intentional. And when a man touches your waist in a certain way, with a certain steadiness, in a certain moment, it can reveal something he may not have said out loud yet. He is not just attracted. He is not just curious. He is not just playing with the idea of you. In his mind, something has already shifted. He has started placing you in a different category. Not as someone passing through, not as someone he is testing for attention, but as someone he feels connected to, protective of, and emotionally drawn toward in a way that has weight. Now, let's be clear from the beginning. One touch does not automatically mean commitment. Body language is never a magic trick where one gesture tells the whole story. Context matters. Consent matters. His character matters. The relationship you already have with him matters. But when that touch is paired with consistency, respect, emotional presence, and the way he treats you before and after that moment, then it becomes something worth paying attention to. Because the waist is not a neutral place. A hand on the shoulder can be friendly. A touch on the arm can be polite. A brush of the hand can be playful. But the waist sits in a more intimate space. It is close enough to feel personal, close enough to create a sense of connection, and close enough that your body instantly knows whether it feels safe or not. That is why you do not just notice it physically, you feel it emotionally. And maybe that is why you clicked on this, because something happened. Maybe he guided you through a crowded room with his hand resting gently at your waist. Maybe he pulled you closer during a hug and kept his hand there just a little longer than expected. Maybe he stood beside you and touched your waist like it was the most natural thing in the world. And now you are replaying it in your mind, wondering what it meant. Was it just attraction? Was he being playful? Was he testing boundaries? Or was there something deeper underneath it? Let me break this down in a way that protects your heart and gives you clarity. Because the goal is not to romanticize every touch. The goal is to understand the difference between casual contact and chosen energy. And once you understand that difference, you will stop giving deep meaning to shallow behavior. And you will also stop dismissing the moments where someone's body is quietly telling the truth before their words catch up. The first thing to understand is this: when a man touches your waist, because he has already chosen you, the touch usually carries calm certainty. That is the feeling. Calm certainty. Not grabbing, not pulling, not showing off, not trying to get a reaction out of you, not doing something bold because he wants to see whether he can get away with it. It feels grounded. It feels like he already knows where he stands, with you, or at least he knows where he wants to stand. There is a major difference between a man who touches you because he is chasing stimulation and a man who touches you because he feels connected. The first one usually has a restless energy. His touch feels like a question with pressure behind it. He is checking your reaction, testing the temperature, trying to create a spark quickly. The second one feels different. His hand does not rush. His body does not crowd you. His energy does not demand that you respond. He touches your waist in a way that feels like he is saying, without words, "I'm here. I've got you." That is what makes it powerful. When someone is serious about you, they often become less performative, not more. Their affection becomes quieter because they are not trying to win the room. They are trying to connect with you. Imagine you are walking into a restaurant together. It is crowded near the entrance. People are moving past. Conversations are happening everywhere. And there is that brief moment where the two of you have to navigate the space together. He places his hand lightly at your waist, not to push you, not to steer you like you are incapable, but to stay connected as he guides you through. Then, the moment you are through the crowd, he lets go naturally. No pressure. No lingering in a way that makes you uncomfortable. No smirk, no performance, No need for applause. That kind of touch can say a lot because it is not about possession. It is about presence. And presence is one of the strongest indicators of emotional seriousness. A man who is playing games often wants the benefits of closeness without the responsibility of care. He wants the chemistry, the tension, the thrill, the reaction. But a man who has truly chosen you starts moving differently. He becomes aware of your comfort. He notices your space. He pays attention to what feels natural between you. His touch has patience in it. That may sound strange, but you know exactly what it means when you feel it. A patient touch does not try to rush intimacy. It does not try to skip emotional steps. It does not behave as though your body is something to claim before your trust has been earned. It waits for mutuality. And that is where your power is. Because when his hand touches your waist, your job is not to panic and decode every molecule of the moment. Your job is to check in with yourself. Did I feel safe? Did I feel respected? Did he notice my response? Did the touch match the level of connection we actually have? Did I feel seen or did I feel handled? That last question is important, because being touched and being respected are not the same thing. A man can touch you with attraction and still not value you. A man can be physically confident and emotionally unavailable. A man can know exactly how to create butterflies and still have no intention of building anything real. Because chosen energy feels steady. It feels emotionally clean. It does not leave you feeling confused, cheapened, or pressured. It may make your heart race, yes. It may make you blush. It may make you think about it later. But underneath the excitement, there is still a sense of safety. That is the first sign. His touch carries calm certainty. Now, the second layer is even more revealing. When a man has already chosen you, he often uses that waist touch to include you. This is subtle, but it matters. A casual man may touch your waist to create tension between the two of you. A serious man often touches your waist to bring you into his space, his attention, his rhythm, or his world. There is a difference. If you are at a gathering and he places his hand at your waist while introducing you to someone, notice the emotional message. Is he doing it to show ownership, like you are an accessory? Or is he doing it because he is naturally including you in the moment? Those are not the same. This is why nuance matters so much. The same gesture can have completely different meanings depending on the intention behind it. A man who has chosen you is not trying to use your presence to inflate his ego. He is not touching you so other men back off. He is not trying to mark territory like you are a prize on display. He is creating connection. And connection has warmth. It has awareness. It has respect. Let's say you are standing beside him while he is talking to a friend. The conversation opens up, and instead of turning his body away from you or leaving you feeling like an outsider, he gently places his hand at your waist for a second as he brings you into the exchange. Maybe he says your name with pride. Maybe he makes eye contact with you before speaking. Maybe he shares something about you that shows he has been paying attention. That touch becomes part of a larger emotional behavior. It says, "You are not separate from this moment." That is powerful because one of the clearest signs of genuine interest is integration. When someone is not serious, they often keep you in compartments. You get the late night attention, but not the daytime inclusion. You get the private affection, but not the public respect. You get chemistry, but not clarity. You get moments, but not movement. But when a man has already chosen you, even if he has not fully verbalized it yet, he starts making room for you in small ways. He does not hide you. He does not act different around people who know him. He does not become cold the second there is an audience. His affection becomes consistent across settings. That is why the waist touch is meaningful only when it fits into a pattern of inclusion. Maybe he checks whether you are comfortable at an event. Maybe he notices when you are quiet. Maybe he brings you into conversations instead of leaving you to fend for yourself. Maybe when you walk together, his body naturally angles toward you. That awareness is one of the most underrated signs of emotional investment, because many people can give attention when they want something. Fewer people maintain awareness when they are not trying to win anything in that exact moment. A man who chose you will often act like your presence matters, even when there is nothing immediate to gain from it. And that is where you need to be honest with yourself. Do not let one intimate gesture distract you from a lack of integration. If he touches your waist in private, but acts distant in public, pay attention. If he is warm when you are alone, but vague when people ask what you are, pay attention. If he creates physical closeness, but avoids emotional clarity, pay attention. Because your body may respond to chemistry, but your peace responds to consistency. And you deserve both. This brings us to the third layer, and this is where many people get confused. When a man has already chosen you, his touch can feel protective, but it should never feel possessive. That difference is everything. Protective energy gives you room. Possessive energy reduces your room. Protective energy pays attention to what you want. Possessive energy assumes it has the right to decide. So when his hand touches your waist, notice whether it feels like care or control. A healthy protective touch might happen when you are crossing a busy street and he gently places his hand near your waist or lower back to guide you away from traffic. It might happen when the room is crowded and he creates a little space around you so you are not bumped or overwhelmed. It might happen when someone is making you uncomfortable, and without creating drama, he moves closer, checks your face, and gives you an easy way to exit the conversation. That kind of protection is not loud. It does not need to dominate. It does not embarrass you. It does not turn your discomfort into his performance. It simply responds. And that is the key word, responds. A possessive man reacts from ego. A protective man responds from care. There is a huge difference between a man who notices your discomfort and quietly supports you, and a man who sees every situation as a chance to prove he owns your attention. If a man puts his hand on your waist, do not rush to romanticize it. Your body usually knows the truth before your mind can explain it. There is a touch that makes you feel safe, and there is a touch that makes you feel tense. That difference matters. If his hand on your waist makes you feel calmer, protected, supported, and grounded, pay attention. If it makes you feel watched, controlled, pressured, or trapped, pay attention to that too. Do not argue with the information your body is giving you. A lot of women are taught to ignore discomfort because they do not want to seem dramatic, cold, or difficult. But confidence without respect is not romance. It is pressure wearing a charming face. A man who has truly chosen you does not need to push past your boundaries to feel close to you. The more serious he is about you, the more careful he becomes. Because he does not want to damage what he values. Think about that. When someone sees you as temporary, they may handle you carelessly. When someone sees you as valuable, they move differently. That applies emotionally and physically. A man who sees you as a passing thrill may test, push, take, and see how much you will allow. But a man who sees you as meaningful will notice your reaction. He will care if your body relaxes. He will care if you stiffen. He will adjust without making you explain the same boundary again and again. That is the man you should pay attention to, not the one who makes the boldest move, the one who makes you feel respected inside the move. Now listen carefully, because this part matters. This advice is only for situations where there is mutual interest, emotional safety, and basic respect. If someone touches you in a way that feels violating, frightening, controlling, or unwanted, that is not romance. That is not chemistry. And it is not proof that he loves you. Your comfort matters immediately. You are allowed to move away. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to get support. You are allowed to protect yourself without giving a long explanation. A chosen woman is not a woman who accepts anything just because attention feels good. A chosen woman pays attention to how love feels in her body. And healthy love will never require you to abandon yourself. But here is where the waist touch becomes more revealing. It has to match the way he treats you when he is not touching you. This may be the part that saves you from confusing attraction with intention, because touch can create intensity quickly. Physical closeness can make your mind build a whole love story from one moment. He touched my waist like that, so maybe he is serious. He pulled me closer, so maybe he feels something deeper. He looked at me that way, so maybe I am different to him. Maybe you are, but you need more than a maybe. You need a pattern. A waist touch becomes meaningful only when his behavior outside that moment says the same thing. Does he follow through? Does he communicate consistently? Does he respect your time? Does he show curiosity about your life? Does he remember what matters to you? Does he create clarity, or does he keep you guessing? Does he make you feel valued when there is no physical affection involved? That is the real test. Because a man who chooses you does not only choose you when your body is close. He chooses you in how he speaks. He chooses you in how he plans. He chooses you in how he listens. He chooses you in how he handles conflict. He chooses you when things are not exciting, easy, convenient, or charged with chemistry. That is what separates attraction from intention. And when you understand the difference, you stop being hypnotized by sparks that lead nowhere. Imagine this. A man touches your waist at dinner. The chemistry is obvious. He is close, charming, attentive, and warm. You leave with that electric feeling, the kind that makes your heart want to believe something is beginning. Then 3 days pass. No real communication, no effort, no clarity. Then he comes back with one flirty message, pulls you into the emotional current again, and suddenly you are hooked on the feeling. That waist touch may have been attractive, but it was not necessarily meaningful. Now compare that with another man. He gently places his hand on your waist as you move through a crowded doorway. It feels intimate, but not overwhelming. Protective, but not possessive. Later, he checks that you got home safely. The next day, he follows up on something you told him. He makes plans without making you chase. He is warm without being inconsistent. He is interested without being invasive. Now the touch sits inside a pattern. That is when it begins to mean something. The body language supports the behavior. The behavior supports the intention. And the intention supports your peace. This is what emotionally mature attraction looks like. It is not just intensity, it is alignment. And alignment is what your heart should be looking for, not perfection. No one is perfect. People get nervous. People have awkward moments. Some people move slowly or struggle to express themselves clearly. But there should be a general direction. You should not have to keep solving the mystery of whether he respects you. You should not have to translate crumbs into commitment. You should not have to build an entire love story out of one touch because everything else is unclear. A man who has chosen you may still be learning how to say it. But before the words come, his behavior will begin creating evidence. He will make things feel more stable, not more chaotic. He will reduce confusion, not increase it. He will treat your softness like something to protect, not something to use. That is why the waist touch only matters when it belongs to a larger emotional truth. And that brings us to the sign most people miss. When a man has truly chosen you, he respects your response immediately. He is focused on how you feel receiving it. If his hand comes to your waist and you naturally lean in, relax, smile, or stay close, he may feel encouraged. If you subtly shift away, tense up, move his hand, or create space, he notices. And if he is healthy, he adjusts without punishing you for it. That matters more than the touch itself. A lot of people confuse confidence with persistence. They think a man is serious if he keeps pushing through hesitation. But emotional maturity is not pushing past someone's signals. Emotional maturity is being present enough to read them. A man who has chosen you does not want closeness that costs you comfort. He does not want affection that makes you feel cornered. He does not want access without trust. And if he makes a mistake, because humans do misread moments sometimes, he responds with humility. He might pull back gently. He might say, "Is this okay?" He might simply give you space and continue treating you warmly without making the whole room feel awkward. That is respect. And respect is deeply attractive when you have experienced the opposite. There is something incredibly telling about a man who can desire you and still honor your pace. Because desire by itself is easy. Self-control is revealing. Consider a moment like this. You are laughing together, the chemistry is there, and he places his hand at your waist. You like him, but maybe the moment feels a little too fast. You shift slightly. A man who is playing games may take that as a challenge. He may try again. He may tease you. He may make you feel like you are being too sensitive. But a man who values you will not make your boundary the enemy. He will read the shift. He will respect it. He will remain kind. And strangely, that may make you trust him more than the original touch ever could. Because now you know something important. His affection is not dependent on access. That is rare, and it is worth noticing. When someone only treats you well while you are giving them what they want, that is not love. That is a transaction. But when someone can meet your boundary with warmth, they are showing you emotional safety. This is where you need to raise your standards in the best possible way. That question will save you from so much confusion. Because many people want access to your energy, your affection, your body, your attention, your emotional labor. But not everyone has the maturity to honor the person attached to those things. A serious man understands that you are not a moment to win. You are a person to know, and that changes everything about how he touches you. Now, let's talk about the emotional psychology behind why the waist touch can feel so intense. The waist is close to the center of the body. When someone touches you there, it can create an immediate feeling of closeness because it narrows the physical distance between you. It can also activate a sense of being guided, held, or protected, depending on the context. This is why it can feel more intimate than a casual touch on the arm. And personal space is psychological. We do not let everyone into it the same way. When you allow someone near your waist, there is usually some level of trust, attraction, or emotional openness involved. So when a man touches you there with care, and you already feel something, for him, your mind may interpret it as a sign of deepening connection. That is natural. You are not silly for feeling something. You are not dramatic for replaying it. You are not weak because a small gesture affected you. You are human. Physical affection carries emotional information. Your nervous system is designed to notice closeness, safety, intention, and threat. It is designed to ask, is this person safe? Are they connected to me? Do they see me? So if that one touch stayed with you, it may be because your body registered more than contact. It registered tone, timing, pressure, his expression, the way he looked at you before or after, the way he either respected the moment or tried to stretch it too far. All of that matters, but here is the part that will keep you grounded. A meaningful touch should make things clearer over time, not more confusing. If the touch was real, his behavior will continue creating clarity. If it was only a moment, time will show you that too. You do not have to force an answer overnight. You simply have to watch the pattern without abandoning yourself in the process. This is where many people lose their power. They feel one emotionally charged moment, and suddenly they start overfunctioning. They text more. They analyze more. They wait more. They make excuses. They lower standards because they are trying to preserve the feeling they had for 10 seconds. Do not do that to yourself. Let the moment be meaningful without making it your entire proof. You can enjoy the memory and still require consistency. You can feel the spark and still move slowly. You can be open and still discerning. That is emotional maturity. And honestly, that is magnetic. Because when you do not collapse into someone just because they gave you a powerful moment, you communicate self-respect. Not through games, not through coldness, not by pretending you do not care, but by staying rooted. A grounded person does not chase meaning from someone who is not offering clarity. A grounded person observes, receives, responds, and allows the other person's consistency to reveal the truth. So what should you actually do when a man touches your waist in a way that feels intentional? First, check your body before you check your fantasy. Ask yourself, did that feel good to me? Did I feel safe? Your body's answer matters. If the answer is yes, allow yourself to enjoy it without immediately needing to turn it into a conclusion. You can smile. You can lean in if you want to. You can let the moment exist. If the answer is no, create space. You do not need a speech. You can step slightly away. You can move his hand gently. You can say, I'm not comfortable with that. The right person will respect it. Second, observe what happens after. This is where the truth starts showing. Does he become more consistent or more confusing? Does he treat you with tenderness outside of physical moments? Does he communicate in ways that match the intimacy he initiated? Does he seem interested in your comfort, your mind, your life, your boundaries? Do not interrogate him based on one touch. Just observe. People reveal themselves when you stop rushing to explain them. Third, do not reward inconsistency just because the chemistry is strong. This one is difficult, but necessary. If he touches you like you matter, but treats you like an option, believe the treatment. If he pulls you close, but keeps his intentions vague, believe the vagueness. If he acts serious in person, but disappears emotionally afterward, believe the disappearance. Your heart may want the most romantic interpretation, but your peace needs the most honest one. Fourth, let a serious man show seriousness. You do not need to drag it out of him. You do not need to coach him into valuing you. You do not need to perform the role of the perfect woman so he finally decides. A man who has already chosen you will start making it known through effort. Maybe not with some grand speech immediately, but through presence, through follow-through, through respect, through wanting to know you beyond the surface, through making you feel emotionally safe, not emotionally addicted. Let him show you. And while he does, keep living your life. Keep your routines, keep your friendships, keep your standards, keep your center. That is not being detached. That is being whole. And wholeness changes the way you receive love. When you are not starving for proof, you can recognize real proof more clearly. You stop mistaking intensity for intimacy. You stop mistaking access for affection. You stop mistaking chemistry for commitment. And you begin to notice the quiet things that actually matter. The way he slows down when you seem unsure. The way he remembers your preferences. The way he does not make you feel guilty for having boundaries. The way his touch feels like an extension of his care, not a substitute for it. That is when you know. Not because he touched your waist once, but because everything around that touch said, I see you. I respect you. That is chosen energy. It is not always loud. Sometimes it is a hand placed gently at your waist while crossing a street. Sometimes it is him moving closer when the room feels overwhelming. Sometimes it is the way he introduces you without hesitation. Sometimes it is the way he pulls back the second he senses you need space. Sometimes it is the way he looks at you afterward, not with conquest, but with softness. And when you experience that, you will feel the difference. You may not have the words right away, but your body will know, because real care has a different temperature. It does not burn you up and leave you anxious. It warms you. It steadies you. It makes you feel more like yourself, not less. So yes, when a man touches your waist like that, with calm certainty, respect, protection, inclusion, and consistency, he may not be playing games. He may have already chosen you in his mind. But here is the part I want you to hold on to. His choice is not the only choice that matters. You get to choose too. You get to decide whether his energy feels safe. You get to decide whether his actions match his gestures. You get to decide whether he has earned that closeness. You get to decide whether the story continues. That is the piece so many people forget. They become so focused on being chosen that they forget to ask whether they are choosing wisely. Ask the better question. That question will bring you back to yourself every time. Because the right kind of love does not just pull you closer to another person. It brings you closer to your own worth. It reminds you that your comfort matters. Your pace matters. Your intuition matters. Your standards matter. And when someone is serious about you, they will not be threatened by that. They will respect it. So the next time his hand touches your waist and your mind starts racing, pause. Breathe. Notice the energy. Notice the context. Notice the pattern. Does it feel like pressure? Or does it feel like presence? Does it feel like performance? Or does it feel like care? Does it leave you confused? Or does it fit into a larger pattern of respect? That is where the answer is. Not in the touch alone, in the truth surrounding it. And if this shifted the way you see that moment, I want you to remember this. You do not need to chase clarity from someone who is serious. Their actions will keep making the picture sharper. Share in the comments what kind of touch or gesture has ever made you stop and wonder what someone really felt. Your experience might help someone else trust what they already sensed. And subscribe for more conversations about body language, emotional clarity, attraction, boundaries, and the kind of love that does not make you lose yourself just to feel chosen.